don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that.
I like that the most. Kill the kids, live a good life. I'm not gonna kill my kids. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
If he did, Ali would eat him, though.
Probably.
Welcome to this week's episode of the At Random podcast. I fucking hate you guys, but hey, anyway. Hey, hello to our lovely listeners. I am your host, Ali. I am joined by two dickheads. They're cute sometimes, but they're really annoying. My husband, Alex. Hello.
It's winking at the mic, at the camera rather. So
Yeah,
if they join the Discord,
Yeah, join
they'll
this
see
one.
it. Yeah, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm here. Let's put it like that.
Allegedly.
This is unclear territory still, so we just have to see what happens. And we're also joined by Andy down in Belgium. How you doing, Bish? Stop
I'm
winking.
good. I winked at the camera too for the people who are not in the Discord, but I did do that. So if you want to see that, join our Discords. Link in the description down below. Oh boy, do I have something fun for you guys. I have a little something.
Oh, God.
And I want to wait on the show to have it on recording. All right, just give me 1 second, and
I see.
I want you to
That
go
way.
to the NSFW thing we have on the Discord channel. You remember when Ali lost on last episode?
Wait,
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So this is what we came up with. All right, Ali. Why don't you... So last episode, for the people that didn't listen to that, Ali lost a little competition and about torturing devices that we did. And I was the winner, and I got to decide how she would be drawn as a character, as a... what is it? I forgot what the name was.
Lewd fan art sort of thing.
Yeah, cartoon art. So if you want to see what it looks like, you can join the Discord server and come check it out on the NSFW page of
It's
that.
brilliant.
Fucking hell.
Ali, why don't you describe to the people listening what I've had drawn up for you? And it's probably going to end up on t-shirts for our podcast.
I hope so. How old are you? You grew up with computers and you still don't know how they work. Jesus Christ. All right, well, look, while she works at a computer, should I describe it?
Yeah, describe it, why don't you? I think you do a good description of that.
If you remember, I refer to Ali as Batman. That's her nickname. So here we have Batman holding like a whip. And we have Ali on a Spanish donkey, or the wooden horse, which we spoke about as a torture device in the last episode. And she has a, rabbit tail butt plug on. She's got, tape bound with her hands tied behind her neck and a ball gag in and a... Oh, what do you call it? The thing to cover your eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Eye mask. I can't remember the fucking name.
Dude,
Blindfold.
and Batman is giving it to her. Look at her ass.
Yeah, Batman's spanking her. She's got lashes across her butt cheeks. She's got weights tied down to her feet to pull her down.
She's butt-ass naked.
Yeah, and Batman's yelling justice. You see one nip as well with her hair on the backside of her.
Yeah.
It's
Fucking Christ.
it's brilliant, and this is brilliant.
This is
what I
beautifully
wanted.
drawn by Matthias, by the way, who's joining us right now, who's live, who's listening live to this episode. So a little shout out to Matthias. Thank you for the hard work. We'll be sure to post your link to your Twitter feed in the show notes.
Yeah, so it's Björklund Art.
Yeah.
Is it on both? I'm pretty sure it's both on Twitter and on Instagram. So
Yeah.
BJORKLUNDART.
Got a stroke halfway through. I don't know if I should edit that out so it sounds good or just leave it in so she sounds like a retard.
I am not well.
But he does commission, so if you like it, he can draw stuff of this, like this of you, I guess.
Yeah.
Go support him.
He can put you on a Spanish donkey.
Or,
All right.
you know, siblings, people you hate, whatever. Whatever gets your juices flowing.
Yeah. All right, Ali.
Okay, well, this week's episode, we'll talk about a interesting person.
Okay.
At least someone that I think is interesting.
Okay.
And has been referenced multiple times throughout pop culture and everything. He's quite a horrible person, but he's a genius in himself. Like
Ed Gein.
Yes. We're
Is it
talking
Ed
about
Gein?
Ed Gein.
Fucking rock and roll. You know, I always had a very big question with Ed Gein.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a serial killer?
No, he's not. I wouldn't consider him.
He wouldn't be classified as. Yeah.
We can discuss this a bit later, obviously, so we can actually get into who Ed Gein was. He isn't anymore. He's dead. But who he was and what he's most known for.
I love Ed Gein. I absolutely love him.
So today we're going to talk about Ed Gein, Plainfield School.
Yeah.
He was born the 27th of August, 1906.
Yeah.
As Edward Theodore Gein.
Yeah.
So he was born to the parents Augusta and George Gein.
Yeah.
George was an orphan as a child, so there's not much known about his living. He worked jobs, and then there's known that he used to like to drink a lot. So that was his thing. He was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And Augusta was brought up in a very religious family, extremely religious family.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Lutheran, I think they were.
Yeah, something like that. I can't remember what exactly, but they were like the strict, just the American strictly strict sort of religion. Yeah.
So she was brought up extremely religious and was usually beaten as a kid.
Yeah.
For some reason, these two met and decided to marry.
Yeah.
Why, we don't know. It was an extremely abusive relationship. Augusta used to abuse the shit out of George in public and everywhere, call him useless, worthless, whatever, everything.
Augusta is what we now refer to as a Karen.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So George would just go about his day. He would work, and then after work, he would go to the local bar and just drink his pain away, pretty much.
Who would want to go home?
Yeah, that too. And when he would end up going home, he would just beat the shit out of Augusta until she would fall on her knees and literally pray to God to kill her husband.
Yeah, yeah.
So they like both beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, in different ways.
So it was like Super Smash Bros. Melee every time they go home.
No. This was Super Smash Bros. With the 1-up mushroom. This was fucking incredible. Like the way they treated each other. Fuck! I wouldn't be surprised. You know the skillet you used in Battleground, or what is it? Like the skillet pan. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they used one of those and the game actually picked up on that from their relationship.
Yeah. So, obviously, Augusta being extremely religious, she didn't believe in divorce, so they stayed in the marriage.
Yep.
And obviously she also stayed because she wanted to have a family.
Yeah.
So the firstborn was Henry. He was born in 1902.
Yes.
And then little Ed came in 1906.
Little Eddie.
They live in La Crosse in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
In 1915, Augusta forced George to move from La Crosse because she called it a sinkhole of filth and wanted to move away. Yeah. So they moved to Plainfield. Mm-hmm. And there they brought a little farm, and this is where the story really takes its toll.
Yeah.
So they own a farm out in Plainfield. They have the two little boys. They're only allowed to go to school. They're not allowed to do anything else. And straight after school, they have to go home and help out on the farm, do works and stuff like that. And obviously Augusta would take time, especially in the evenings, to read verses out of the Bible, the Old Testament, which is very macabre if anyone has ever read the Old Testament. It's some heavy shit in there.
Yeah. Ed Gein was known in his school for being extremely fucking stinky, because he barely changed his clothes throughout. Like, they didn't bathe. They didn't have a shit ton of money. So he maybe bathed once a week. So Ed was actually fucking well known in school. It wasn't like he was a shy kid. Like, everybody knew who Ed was, and you could smell him coming down the hall. He was very
bullied because he would have weird mannerisms. He would talk to himself and laugh, or he would laugh at his, like he said, he would just randomly laugh, and he would say like, "I'm laughing at my own jokes."
But nobody saw any harm in him, by the way. They all thought he was weird, but like, he was the gentle fucking weird kid from school, like
the weird slow kid or something.
Yeah, that smelled like pig shit.
So obviously they moved to Plainfield, to this farm, so Augusta could keep her children safe from the sinful and whorish women, because everyone in her eyes were whores.
How many ankles were flashing down the street?
Oh, yeah.
There's
like,
only one whore in this story, and that's big ol' mama.
Yeah. So obviously with her extreme beliefs, she thought all women were prostitutes and instruments of the devil.
Hey, so she wasn't wrong, to be fair.
Fuck off.
Definitely on the devil part.
They were only allowed to go to school and then go back home, help around the farm, and listen to Bible verses.
Yeah. It sounds like the worst fucking life ever. I would be like a crazy dude as well.
No, it
Someone tried to read me Bible passages and make me plain pig shit.
The thing about Ed Gein and his upbringing is like, there's a list to check off to make a serial killer. Ed Gein checked everything, bedwetting, until he was like, what, do you have that? Until like 15?
Yeah, he was like, he was very old.
15, 16, still bedwetting.
Abusive relationship, but extremely close to his mother. Like, he would say that his mom was his first love and his best friend. Like, the relationship was...
Also, being dropped on the head as a kid, or like brain damage as a kid. That was a big check off as well. He checked every fucking square there was for making a serial killer. It's incredible how all these circumstances came together and didn't make a serial killer. They made an artist.
Yes. But like I said, the discussion about serial killer, like, we can take it a bit further down the line, because different opinions. Yeah. So like I said, he had an obsessive relationship with his mother. He would usually call her his first love and his best friend.
Oh yeah.
In 1940, George, the father, passes away by heart failure. Obviously, alcoholism will eventually get to you.
Yeah, I'm hoping for it.
Yeah, so this meant that the brothers had to step their pussy up, basically, and help out more around the farm, make money to support their living expenses. So they would work odd jobs here and there.
Yeah.
Henry, the brother, he started dating a single mother, and was like...
What a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah, the harlot.
What a whore.
Yeah.
And obviously he was kind of getting tired of the abusive Augusta back home, and decided, like, he's going to move out, he's going to start his life. And he was very worried about his brother, because he's so obsessed with the mother, and he's like telling him, like, our mom is like, it's not okay. Like, it's you have to get out
weird.
Of there.
The weird thing was, the moment that he left Augusta, she actually amped it up with Ed.
Yeah.
She got more protective over Ed, which I believe pushed it even further.
Yeah, of course. I would say absolutely as well. Henry was worried about Edward and talked shit about Augusta, basically, because Henry did not like his mother.
Yeah.
And that made Ed very upset. So in March 1944, while the brothers were out burning some marshall vegetation on the property, a fire broke out. And so obviously the fire department had to come and put the fire out. And then Ed was like, where's Henry? Henry's gone.
Wait, is his name Henry or Hendry?
Henry.
You keep saying Hendry, or I keep hearing Hendry, and it's really confusing.
She has
I'm
the
sorry.
exotic accent.
I just
And-
needed to
and
clarify.
plus-
Is it Henry
and
or
plus,
Hendry?
You told me that before the show you try to put your dick in her mouth. Maybe that's the reason. Her jaw is still a little sore.
Shut the fuck up.
Look, I said I tried.
Okay, Henry was missing. And obviously, they went out looking for him. And after a while, they found Henry dead, facing down in the dirt.
Died the way he lived. Face down in pig shit.
When they found him, he had been dead for some times.
Yeah.
But the weird thing that he didn't have any burns on his body. But for some reason, the police ruled out foul play. So they didn't consider that this would have been a murder or something.
Yeah.
But
Probably a Friday afternoon. They're like, fuck it, let's go get drunk
Yeah.
at the bar. I don't want to.
no,
He died in the fire.
yeah.
Fuck it.
But he had some weird bruises on his head, so that's the thing. But for some reason, the police did not suspect foul play. A year later, so in 1945, Augusta had a stroke. And she was bedridden. And obviously, this made Ed's obsession even worse because now he had to attend to her like day and night and do everything.
Care, Mama.
Yeah. But obviously Augusta kept fucking abusing him, calling him worthless, weakling, a failure, but he would still like help his mother because he loved her so much.
Yeah.
And she also said that that he wouldn't survive without her. In December of 1945, Augusta sadly passes away. So
Sadly.
Edward, by this,
Yeah.
sadly, but
Very
Sadly.
sadly. Put that in quotes, please.
She got her
Yeah.
comeuppance.
yeah.
Sadly,
So
a
Edward is
parentheses.
completely heartbroken. Obviously, he's lost his mother,
yeah.
the love of his life.
The love of his life.
But is it really love or is it obsession? Because you could confuse the two between a love or...
For him, it's love, but it's
delusional fucking
Yeah.
obsession is what it is.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's delusional. It's not really love.
It's the end creation of a lifetime of mental abuse mixed with occasional good times. Isn't it a thing that she thought, like, masturbation, like, there was a sex link in between
Thank you.
Ed Gein and the mom as
Yeah.
well? Do you have anything on that?
Or
One
she
thing-
didn't assist him, did she?
no one thing.
She didn't assist him. She thought it was a worst thing ever. Like, that was a pathway to Satan and blah, 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 blah. But there
She
was...
hated sex.
Yeah.
There's one incident that happened in Ed Gein's youth. So one day, Ed was in the bath,
Yeah.
jerking off, having
Yeah.
a little fun, beating his mate,
Playing a little with the foreskin, as we might
Yeah.
say.
Feeding the duck?
feeding the
Yeah.
dog. And Augusta walks in.
Yeah.
She poured boiling water on him because obviously she did not
Made
approve.
him come within 2 seconds.
That'll
Yes.
teach him.
And then
Fuck yeah, Mom!
grabbed his genitals and called them curse of men. That's like loving mom at a new level. So fuck Augusta. She died of a fucking stroke.
That is the best fucking cum shot ever. That's like one guy, one jar times
Okay.
2.
So when Augusta died, Ed closed off most of the house, but he kept her room completely intact as she had never left the house.
Yeah.
But the rest of the house was a fucking pigsty. Like he had trash everywhere. So what we would call nowadays is hoarder, obviously.
Didn't he keep her body? Like nobody knew she was at? No?
No.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah, no.
Ed was rarely seen in town. He was mostly seen just running errands or grabbing the occasional beer at the local Mary Hog Tavern.
Yeah.
But except for that, he was never seen in town. Like, he was an oddball.
Yep.
So one day, Mary Hogan, the owner of the tavern, goes missing. And the only thing that was left behind was a pool of blood. But no one could, I don't know, they never figured out what happened.
Yeah.
And obviously time went on, and Ed Gein, when he would do his little runs to the pub, he would make this joke that, oh, Mary's staying over at my house. And people thought like, oh, that's just Ed. He's just weird, but that's a bit weird. Why
he
would he say
literally
that?
told people where she was as well. Like, he literally just like a chuckle under his breath. Yeah, I got her in the basement.
You're jumping ahead. Calm down. We have to build up the excitement.
I'm sorry.
November 16, 1957. Bernice Warden, the hardware store owner, goes missing. And it's really weird because, like, she didn't open her store, but the truck was parked outside, but she wasn't there. So people thought that she was out hunting with her son because that was the thing that they occasionally would do. But then the son, who was Deputy Sheriff Frank Warden, comes at around 5 p.m., and he's not with his mother. So he enters the store. And in the store, what he finds is that the register has been opened, the money's gone, and there's a trail of blood on the floor.
Yep.
So people are like, what had happened to Bernice? Like, where is she?
A very loved character in that town, by the way.
Yeah, she was very loved.
Both the barmaid and the store owner were very well known.
No, Mary was not loved though. Mary was actually no one cared.
She was a well-known
character. They called her a whore and stuff. That's why no one really cared when she disappeared.
Well, Ed's mother probably called her a whore for working in a fucking bar.
No, but she was known as being a bit loosey-goosey.
Hey, she was just ahead of the curve.
Mary.
She was ahead of the times.
Yeah,
good on her. She was a visionary.
But anyway, so the deputy, like, he tells the police investigator that are investigating this that the night before, Ed Gein had come to the hardware store and said that he wanted to buy antifreeze and something else. Can't remember
I think
exactly.
it was rope or something.
Yeah, it was something. And obviously then they look into the register, and the last receipt made was to Ed Gein.
To Ed Gein, yep.
Yeah. So, of course, the people were like, okay, let's go and check this fucking Ed guy out. And boy, oh boy, were these fucking officers in for a fucking treat when they rock up to the fucking farm. So
it's
they pull up...
You remember the beginning scene of... What was again? Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where they go into the basement. Mm-hmm. I think it must have looked something like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Actually, when you're mentioning it, Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is inspired by Ed Gein.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that, why, in exactly a little second. So the police go over to the farm, and they find Bernadette's body hanging upside down by her legs, with a crossbar at her ankles and rope at her wrist. Her torso was stressed out like a deer, the processing of removing the internal organs when hunting game. So she had opened it up, everything was out.
Yeah.
She had been shot with a .22 caliber rifle and mutilated after her death. So that was poor Bernadette. But then they go into the rest of the house, and the findings in the house is like, I don't think you can make this shit up. Like, it's
you can apparently when you're a retard hog person, like.
But the things this guy had, like, how do you get to that level of like, yes, like, he's an artist in a sense because what he made was amazing, but you have to be fucking the head to do that.
No,
so I'm just going to run down the list, obviously, because...
I'm just going to say, this guy was abused by his mother who had a stroke. Yeah. And she was like a fucking half a vegetable, and she was like, you're a fucking useless piece of shit. It's like, Ma, you can't even move by yourself. But he just took that.
Yeah, but that wasn't... Like that's the thing. Ed Gein was definitely the weak boy of the family.
Mm-hmm. And obviously years of tormenting and abuse from the mother, like that does damage to you.
He was, for all intents and purposes, a good kid until his mom died.
Yeah, in like her standards.
Well, yeah, for the standards of what that situation would allow, he wasn't a bad kid. He only turned... I don't even think it was something to do with evil. But let's run down the list.
Well, let's run down the list.
Yeah.
So... A whole human like whole human bones and fragments.
Yeah.
A waste basket made of human skin.
Yes.
Human skin covering several chair seats.
Yeah.
Skulls on his bedposts.
Yup.
Female skulls with some of them, the top of the head was sewn off.
Yeah.
Sawn off.
Sewn off.
Sewn.
Sewn.
With like a needle and thread.
No, as like
Sawn.
sawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balls made from human skulls. A corset from a
like
female.
soup balls.
Yes, soup balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you said bowls.
Balls.
No,
like
not balls. I saw you looking weird. I was like, no, I'll explain it. It was genuine, like the skull of a human with a
Made
top
into
cut
balls.
off and made into a ball.
Cool.
Yeah.
A corset made from a female torso, skinned from the shoulders to the waist. Leggings made from human leg skin.
Fucking leggings.
Fucking leggings, yeah.
Got a whole outfit in our home
yeah.
furnished.
Mask from the skin of a female head. Mary's face mask in a paper bag.
Yeah.
Mary's skull in a box. Bernadette's heart in a plastic bag by the stove. Bernadette's entire head in a burlap sack. 9 vulvas in a shoebox.
So he just like was the OG fleshlight guy or something, or like what?
He's the inspiration for it. I mean, without him, we wouldn't have it.
Jesus. So a young girl's dress and the vulva of 2 females being like suspected to be around the age of 15. A belt made of female nipples.
And I gotta say,
I
love
love that.
Have you seen the nipple belt?
Yes.
It is such an amazing good job.
Oh God.
He fucking nailed
Please
it.
tell me he
with
used the
nipple
actual
belt.
like the nipple, the hard bit, as like, you know, the button you push in. When you
No,
wanna,
it was the
plug it in.
areola and a nipple, so you could definitely do that, like shove one nipple up the other to click it steady.
Yeah, to click it in.
But he
It's
didn't do
brilliant.
that.
Nah.
He didn't do that. There was an actual buckle on the nipple belt. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah. Fingernails from female fingers.
Yeah.
A pair of lips on the window shade drawstring.
Yeah.
And lampshades made from skin of human faces.
Yeah. You're
So-
forgetting one.
Which one?
The gloves.
The gloves.
He had
This list
hand
didn't
gloves.
have it. There's been so many other things that I've heard, but they weren't on this list, so I didn't want to write them down.
Oh, but they are out there. They're in the what's it called? They released the documents to his case a while ago. They are out there. I can probably look it up and send it to you right now. But like, all right, well, let's keep it to that list then. But man, the nipple belt is what got me. Like from everything, I saw the pictures.
But the
and
corset,
shit like that.
though, the corset made from the torso of a female, like
But for the people that haven't heard, if you're a retard like Ed Gein and you haven't heard about Ed Gein yet, could you explain to those people why there were only 2 people killed and yet he had so many fucking projects?
Well, I'm getting there, but you just like to get ahead for some reason. So during questioning, Ed said that between 1947 and 1952, he had made around 40 visitors to 3 local graveyards. So during that, he would go and he would excavate recently buried bodies. And and he claimed that he was in a dazed-like state when he would do this. But he also said that 30 of these, around 40 times, he managed to snap out of that state and walk home empty-handed. But those other 10, he got some good shit.
Yeah, he got some art projects.
This just
could
further
do.
highlights to me that American police have been shit for more than the last 20 years.
Dude, like
How do you go to 50 grave sites in like 5-year span from 3 graveyards and no one like, Why do all
There
these
were
recent
probably
graves
some
look like they're
there was
freshly dug
probably
up
some
again?
questions about it and shit like that, but nobody knew exactly why it was, and he did leave in some time in between and shit like that. The thing is, Ed Gein he wasn't the smartest, but like people would think like people who did that had some brains. I think his greatest benefits was being a dumbass.
I'm picturing kind of like a Forrest Gump type character.
No, but he wasn't
That's
like a
exactly
full-on
what you should
retard. Like
think
his IQ was quite average. Like he wasn't the smartest, but he wasn't an imbecile in that sense. Like he wasn't stupid.
Well, his IQ was okay, but that doesn't mean like he was developed towards
No,
his age.
obviously he didn't have no social skills. He didn't know because he was suppressed as a kid for most of his life. But anyway, so obviously he would try to get elderly females that would resemble his mother, and those were the bodies that he dug up. And he would take the skin, like the bodies home, and he would tan the skin. So he would cure the skin to be able to use it to make his paraphilias. Paraphernalia, yes. So soon after the mother passed away, that's when he started making his woman suit, as he called it, because he wanted to become his mother to be able to crawl into her skin.
Yeah, and then yell at himself.
Yes.
Ed, Eddie, you're a piece of trash, Eddie. Oh, mama.
So during 1947 and 1952, 6 people disappeared in La Crosse and in Plainfield, but Ed only confessed to 2 of the killings. Then there's obviously debatable if he actually did kill more people, but he's never confessed those murders. He confessed the murdering of Bernadette, but he claimed that it was an accident. And Mary eventually confessed, but then he retracted his statement. Like,
I think that is pretty plausible, though. He might have told something to Bernadette that made her realize, like, oh, fuck, he killed her. And it just escalated from there, and he saw no other option but to kill again. Yeah.
No, but the thing is that when he killed Bernadette, that was the same day he got arrested. So it must have been shit that happened before. But anyway, so in 1947, he goes to his pre-trial thing.
Oh, okay.
And he was charged with first-degree murder on 1 count, obviously the murdering of Bernadette, but he claimed not guilty on the insanity claim. Not guilty for the reasoning of insanity.
I was like, wait, they're like, you're insane. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm going to go to jail for longer.
Yeah.
I was very confused for a second.
So he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, which most of the people were diagnosed with schizophrenia back in the day when they were really like, no, that person is crazy. He has schizophrenia. This schizophrenia is not that bad.
Yeah.
Like it is a treatable disease.
Medical science was loose.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
The horse from the bars.
Yeah. But he was found mentally incompetent and unfit for trial. Eventually he did have a trial, but he was sentenced to spend the rest of his life at the Central State Hospital for the Criminally Insane, where he died in 1984 at the age of 77 by respiratory failure due to lung cancer.
Yeah.
So that's little Ed. Obviously, other points. The house that he owned, where he had all his stuff, it was going to be put up for sale. But obviously, with this whole criminal case, it attracted so many people, and the town started to get really upset because this was something horrible that had happened to their people, and obviously they didn't like people coming and being fucking crazy and shit like that. So it was gonna be put up for auction in 1957, I think, 58 or something, in the March 30th. But mysteriously on March 20th, the house burnt down and was so damaged that they had to demolish the rest of it. So in that sense, no one could buy this house and keep the memory of it alive. It just disappeared.
Did they ever question if he killed his brother?
No, they didn't. They just suspected.
These were times when cops
Didn't give a shit.
Especially in like rural America, they like if they couldn't come back on their first assessment. If their first assessment was not murdered, then basically they weren't murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically to come back to your for a second opinion would be to declare that you're a dumbass. And that's why a lot of cases were thrown in the fucking dark and were never truly fucking solved. I mean, let's look at the Hot Dog Squad, which is a completely different fucking story, but, you know, the hunt for the BTK killer and all that shit. BTK basically fucking gave himself up. Well, we'll probably talk about it in a different episode, but like, let's just say that criminal investigation wasn't where it should have been.
I'm pretty sure that shit still happens today, though. They're just like in
absolutely.
real backwater towns.
I think it's a lot less probable to still happen.
But it still happens.
In the very small American cities, yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. So, obviously, Ed Gein was a very creative person. Little kid, little fella.
He was.
But he's been obviously mentioned multiple times throughout pop culture. He has had movies made about him, TV series. Some of the more notorious, like more famous, is obviously Leatherface and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Also, he inspired the character Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Also, Bloody Face from American Horror Story Season 2.
Oh, didn't watch Season 2.
Yeah, it's a really good. The Season 2 is the best, in my opinion.
Cool.
A bunch of songs has been written, but like one that I thought was really funny is from the movie American Psycho.
Okay.
Have you seen that movie? It's brilliant. If you haven't, you have to see it. It's one of my absolute favorite movies.
That's the one with Christian Bale, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the main character, Patrick Bateman, they wrongly, mistakenly attributed a quote by Ed Kemper, so another serial killer, gave it to Ed Gein. So the quote they say in the movie is like, you know what Ed Gein said about women? When I see a pretty girl walking down the street, I think one of two things. One part of me wants to take her out, talk to her, be real nice and sweet, and treat her right. The other part wonders what her head would look like on a stick. So they quote it as Ed Gein saying it in the movie, but it's actually Ed Kemper. But I thought it was a really funny little tidbit there.
Yeah.
And see that movie, it's really good.
Serial killers have the best fucking quotes. I can't remember who it was, but my all-time favorite serial killer quote is still will and always be the first one. You remember where everything is. You know exactly what you're gonna do. You got it all planned out. But by the 10th one, you forget where you put the crowbar.
Oh no, you forget even where you put the body. I think it is, isn't it?
No. It's you forget where you put the crowbar to smash their fucking face in, basically.
Yeah. Oh, who is that? I heard that recently.
I think it's Bundy. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, that's Bundy. That's Bundy.
Yeah. It's either Bundy or
no, it's Bundy.
Pretty sure it is because I'm pretty sure they mentioned that in that new like Netflix like mockumentary, fake documentary series they made about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
In 2019, I think it's
yeah.
There's some good serial killer tapes out there, and Bundy.
But let's get to that now. By the way, is Ed Gein a serial killer in your opinion, Andy?
You know what? I don't think he ever got to the level where he should have been. Like, it's weird to say. Look, in my opinion, if
you think he didn't reach his potential,
yeah, basically. If Ed Gein would have still been free, he would have gotten so much worse. I think he was amping up to be a genuine serial killer.
Yeah.
I think at the point where he stopped, because of his love of macabre and all that shit and digging up bodies and blah, 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 blah. But I think because he was stopped so short, he only got the chance to kill 2 people that would classify him as a murderer.
Yeah.
Because I know, look, there's murderers in prison that probably killed more people than Ed Gein. So why wouldn't they be,
It's just the obscurity of his crimes, like the thing he did to the bodies. Like, and obviously we're talking about a time with like most people were extremely religious, and even like thinking
the
about
religious do some of the most fucked up shit.
No, they do,
kill
but we're
people.
not saying that. But like just like in the aspect of the people like sentencing him and stuff like that, like imagining doing that to a body that has been put to rest and now it's like been
Actually, you know what? I'm retracting my statement. I think Ed Gein is a serial killer.
No, I don't think so.
Because of the fact that he had that potential. He didn't get to complete it. He didn't.
But having potential and being are two different things.
Yeah,
I'm one step away from fucking becoming a serial killer.
Do you truly believe that if he wasn't locked up, that he wouldn't have done that? That something would have stopped him? It wouldn't.
I think
I don't think there's anything in the world. The moment his mom died, that was it for anybody around him.
I think more to the point, I won't say he's a serial killer because he never got convicted of them. But that guy, he killed more than 2 fucking people. Like, come on. They just never proved it. So therefore he can't be, but he is. Like, he was never credited with that.
Yeah, he probably killed his brother.
Yeah, and he probably killed a couple other people maybe around town, which would make him a serial killer, but he never actually got pinned with it. Yeah. So I don't think you can actually say technically he is.
But at least like he said that he never like violated he never had sex with the bodies. He wasn't a necrophiliac in that sense. And they actually did autopsies.
He usually just cut the
vulva
vulva off before he came in them. So if you take the skin and just fuck the vulva and you shoot your rope out of at the floor, you didn't. It's just
that's true. You never penetrated, really.
It's a sleeve. It's a cock sleeve. Is all I'm saying. Oh, by the way,
why do you have to give me that image? Jeez.
Yeah, it's like jerking off with a towel or something.
Come on. It's like a fleshlight.
Yeah, he was pretty much the OG fleshlight guy. They should have pay royalties to it if he has any extended family.
By the way, Ali, I think I have some retribution for you for having to deal with us during our. Wait, hold on. Give me a second here, because I gotta do this, a jip, and then I gotta do this, a boopity boop. Like that. Okay. Come on, fucking open up. All right, there we go. Come on. Okay. And boop. All right. So during our recording of this episode, you're not the only one that got a little tired of me and Alex's shit. And Matthias went to drawing again. I think it came out pretty well. I'm gonna post it right now.
Oh.
I think it, think that's one for the spank bank for me.
I think you got the dick proportions just about right too.
Yeah. Can somebody please describe what Matthias was drawing during this episode?
I'm basically a wheelbarrow. With a
you're
giant,
minding a wheelbarrow, aren't you?
tripod-sized dick,
It's basically
femur-sized
just
penis.
It's just basically me railing inside of Alex.
Yeah, well, I
fucking love it. And you
femur-sized penis.
Yeah, you got the horse cock going.
Yeah,
you can see a close-up of me inside of your asshole, which I think is a great addition.
With what looks like semen or some sort of lubrication.
I just think it needs Batman saying justice. That's all it needs.
With Ali in the background.
Yeah. On the fucking Spanish horse.
Yeah, still there. But maybe slid down a bit further.
Yeah. Starting to split.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so I guess that was Ed Gein's episode. You know what? I've decided on this episode that next week you're gonna find out about my all-time favorite serial killer.
Who's that?
Okay.
So prepare your assholes.
I think mine's already prepared, to be honest.
Judging from that picture,
Yeah.
yours lubed up and ready to go.
So next week you're gonna do a serial killer. You're gonna dump the aliens.
I gotta do the aliens too. I know. I gotta keep on going.
What if it's a serial killer that was actually an alien?
You know what?
And Andy
No.
has proof?
I said, shut up. I said I was gonna do the alien shit. I'm losing my mind over it, but I'm gonna do it. All right. So next week is gonna be alien. After the alien shit, after 35 fucking episodes of alien shit, I'm gonna tell you guys what my favorite serial killer is.
Yeah,
there's
and
actually
by-
two, but
And by you guys, you're just gonna be in a padded wall, like no aliens.
yeah,
Rocking back
tinfoil
and
hat
forwards.
on my head.
Yeah, padded cell,
Covered,
like banging your head on the wall.
surrounded by crystals.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So that was some information about Ed Gein. Yeah, he was an interesting little character, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, at least he didn't fuck anything other than the vulvas, probably.
Oh
He
my
probably
God.
did fuck them.
I
To
mean,
be
why
honest.
else would you keep them? Like,
Do you think he ever genuinely skull fucked somebody, but then in the literal sense of the word?
through the eye socket.
Yeah, something like that. He probably would have. All right, well, I guess that's it for this week's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guide us out, Ali? Alster?
Absolutely. Thank you for listening this week. And if you like what you listen, please give us a rating. Also, don't forget to join the Discord. You'll find the links in the show notes down below. You can also come and follow us at Instagram. That is @random.podcast, at.random.podcast. And our Twitter handle is...
@_randompod. So that's @_randompod.
Yeah.
And goodest
And-
boy
and
of the week goes to all the nipples and vulvas out there.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Yeah. All right. Well, I wish you all a very lovely week, and I hope you guys enjoy your week. And yeah, let's leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Take care of your nipples.